Hi guys, welcome back. It's Donwozi here, and today I'm going to be showing you a new Magic Sorcerer rotation for Endgame. So firstly I'm going to be showing you the rotation step by step, and then I'll show you a clip of me getting 41k DPS with this rotation. So first of all, I just want to say this isn't my own rotation. I didn't come up with this rotation myself. A guy called Lancaster X is a YouTuber, which I'll link his channel into the description. And then I'm going to show you the skills first, what I'm using, and then I'll get into the rotation slowly. So on my front bar, I'm using a lightning staff, which would be a moon dancer lightning staff if I had it, but I don't. So I'm just using a random crafted staff. So yeah, first of all, I'll actually show you the gear. So I'm using a random crafted lightning Juliana staff, which would be a moon dancer lightning staff. I'm using a maelstrom lightning staff on the back bar just to proc off balance. I'm using 2 Grofgar, 5 Necropotents, and 3 moon dancer. In a trial, you would use Elambris, and you would be using the Maelstrom Inferno staff on the back bar and a Moon Dancer Lightning staff on the front bar, or you could use a Maelstrom Lightning staff on the front bar if you don't have the Moon Dancer Lightning staff, and just use a poison instead, which is not that much less DPS. So now I'll do the skills. So on my front bar it is Shock Reach, Daedric Prey, Summon Volatile Familiar, Elemental Drain, which Elemental Drain is just for self buff test purposes. You don't need this if you have a dedicated, someone just dedicated to put Elemental Drain on fire. In a trial I would put a shield instead of this. I'm also using Bound Aegis, and the front bar ultimate is Shooting Star. On my back bar I'm using Liquid Lightning, Blockade of Storms, the pet again, because you've got to double bar it, Endless Fury, which if you're just using this for trials would be Mage's Wrath or Mage's Fury. I forget the morph. The reason I use this morph is because I like to go in Maelstrom a lot, so, and this morph is better for Maelstrom. Bound Aegis again, and Thunderous Rage. So now I'll showcase the rotation. So first of all, you're going to want to buff up. So I would pop a pot, potion, pet, elemental drain, switch to your back bar, ultimate, liquid lightning, blockade of storms, switch bars, pet, curse, holding a heavy attack. When the heavy attack kicks back, you're going to want to light attack, destructive reach, and switch bars. So I'll show you that a bit quicker. So it would be one. So that's it, fast. And then again, there's an easier way to do this. I just like that way because that's how Lancaster put it. And the easiest way to do this is to activate your 3 dots on your back bar. So you would Liquid Lightning, Blockade of Storms, and then pet, switch bars, and then light attack, pray, and then you'd go into a heavy attack, light attack, reach, switch bars, or clench, whichever morph you have. The reason I take destructive reach is because there's no DPS difference between the morphs. One just has better range and one adds a new effect, which don't count towards your DPS. So, and the reason I do this version and activate your pet and your prey on your front bar is because if you activate pet and prey on the front bar, they have more of an uptime together, which, if you don't know what Daedric Prey does with the pet, while the curse is active, your pets deal an additional 55% damage to the target. So the more you can have these up together, the more damage the pet will do, and the pet does a heck ton of damage. So that's the reason I do it that way. But most people use the old rotation, which was basically just activate all your dots on your back bar. But yeah, that rotation is slightly more DPS. It's not that much of a big deal. Also, your first ultimate you'll be using is Elemental Rage, the Destruction Staff ultimate. So you'll be using that off the bat, and then after that you're just going to want to use Shooting Star for more DPS. And then round about 25%, maybe a little bit less, you're going to want to get into Execute phase. So that's why I have my Execute on my back bar. So the reason you're going to want to use your Execute before 20%. So you're going to need to get in there fast, but you're still going to need your damage over times rolling for more damage. So if your damage over times fall off and you start executing, you're going to lose DPS. And the reason you want to execute before 20% is because if the enemy falls to or below 20% health within 4 seconds, an explosion deals an additional 13,662 shock damage to them and 2,629 shock damage to other enemies nearby. So basically, it's 15,000 extra damage, or free damage as I like to call it. But you're still going to want to make sure your damage over times are rolling. If you can't make it, if you can't make it to execute phase and keep your dots rolling, what I would recommend is keep your dots rolling instead, and then just execute after. At execute phase, you're going to want to, around about 25%, you're going to want to at least keep 2 dots up. So I'd keep Blockade of Storms, Pet, and then Execute. And then after 4 or 5 executes, you're going to want to just keep Wall of Storms up. Or if you're not at 15% when you use them both, then keep the Pet and Blockade of Storms up. But if you get to 15%, then I just recommend using Wall of Storms and spam your ultimate. I'd go about 4 times and then you reactivate Wall of Storms. If you get round about 6% and your Wall of Storms fall off, just carry on using Mage's Wrath until it dies. Because if you activate Wall of Storms at 6% and you don't carry on with your ultimate, then you're gonna lose DPS just in the animation just because the animation's long. So now I'm gonna go to a clip of me getting 41,000 DPS self-buffed. So thank you.
Niggas must have forgot their alphabet. Let me explain. Here it goes. A is for ambition. Be what I wanna be. See past the situation that's in front of me. Doubt is an enemy. Zep, we say fuck them. The irony is they inspire me to love them. G is past go and ignite the cash flow. When H is put your heart in whatever's your last hope. I is fire, but 2 light the fire. So we be the streets' #1 supplier. And J is for them Jordans for my niggas when I make it. Give me 2 of those strange no-name kicks. Earth, wind, and fire type. Elemental beast that resembles me, and it accounts for elemental P. You the track up like, are you impressed? Get your bread, kid, but never let it go to your head. That's S for success, to be the best. T is teach back what you learn, that's next. Cause you got the power, V for voluntary action. W is right out to life with a passion. X is expect to fail, why cease to dream? Even when you ain't catching them Z's, and that's the alphabet.
For so long, you survive.